Hello, welcome back. This is Golf is Ruining My Life. Many people's favourite golf podcast and multi-platform golf event, Tom Green.
It's a golf event.
It's a golf event. And at the moment, well, maybe not this week, but it's often twice a week this happens, but not right now.
That was one of those sentences that I think you started without knowing where the end was.
Could I say something to you?
You discovered the end during the sentence.
I like doing that. Can I say something to you? Today, this will be because I've done my other podcast as well, and I've done my radio show. This will be the sixth different podcast or radio show I've recorded today.
Wow.
So I'm going to be, like anything could come out of my mouth. Just be prepared for that.
You're giving Ellis James a run for his money there.
Really is.
And
Yeah,
he
yeah,
loves
yeah.
a podcast.
He really does. But necessarily.
It's funny you say that because saying that we are your favourite golf podcast, that sounds like we're blowing smoke up our bums, which we are, but people have said it in emails recently. So it is true.
I've seen it.
It's backed up by at least one email evidence.
And they can't be bots.
No, they can't be bots.
I think they're real. Could you
must
get
be.
golf bots? Is that a thing?
To sort of support the show.
I don't know.
Don't know what you want from golf bots.
Bots are very rarely positive. I did warn you. This could be a random show.
We speak a lot about this show on the show about golf. Obviously, that's why you're here. But a lot about how golf's trying to modernize and become cooler. Do you know the cool brand Kith?
Sorry, did you say kiss, but you developed a lisp for one word?
No, Kith.
As in kith and kin?
No,
Kith. K-I-T-H.
Kith.
Okay.
They're a fashion brand price.
Oh, well, of course I'd know about them. Of course I'll know about them.
You love Kith, don't you?
I'm massively into my fashion. Yeah, Kith are great. They do like thirth and they do trousers.
Not bad stuff. We'll take it. Kith are a cool... I feel like I've got a lisp now while saying it. They're just called Kith. It's just a word, Kith. Kith.
Kith FM.
Kith FM, yeah, they sacked me. I got sacked. Oh no. Is this staying in? It's staying in. It's all fine.
Yeah, it's staying in. We're all friends here.
Kith. They're a really cool sort of like fashion brand that make really cool apparel, New York based. They do a little bit of like what's Supreme. You know Supreme?
Yeah.
Supreme, you love Supreme.
Yeah, I love Supreme.
Supreme are really
good.
cool. They're a fashion brand, but they do a load of crossover stuff. So they'll release skateboards or they'll release toasters with Supreme on, right? Just a few ideas there.
Yeah.
And Kith are getting into this space a little bit.
Right.
What product range have Kith launched this week?
It's golf. It's got to be golf. Otherwise, why are you talking about it on this show?
It's traders. Cheers. Thanks for asking.
They do great swimming stuff. Cheers. And
Anyway, anyone any emails?
They're going to be a real competitor to Speedo.
Golf. They're in golf.
And what's the stuff like?
It's genuinely really, really cool. Kith have collaborated with TaylorMade.
Ah, okay.
So they've brought it out with TaylorMade. Yeah. They've brought a load of clothes out. They've done special TaylorMade Kith golf clubs.
Wow.
So they've collaborated on that.
God.
There's like gold wedges. They've got the new TaylorMade driver, but a Kith version. Yeah. And they've launched it with Jimmy Fallon in the advert.
Oh, I've seen the Jimmy Fallon on a golf course pictures. That's it.
That's the Fallon thing. You've seen it.
Wow. That's cool.
I just think it is such a good sign of where this sport is going. And you lot that listen to the show and watch the show every week and have been here for the last 6 series with us, we've been in the trenches with this show. My goodness, at least we were here post-lockdown. Can you imagine golf in sort of 2015?
Trying to do this stuff?
Yeah, you couldn't do it.
That would be the maddest thing. The idea of the clothing and the look and the branding and the kind of the self-confidence of the game. It just was not a thing. It
wasn't there.
The youth of it.
Yeah. And the Peter Finches and the Rich Shields were around then, but the world that they inhabit and we inhabit now by doing this show is worlds apart from when they started, and it's worlds apart from where it was pre-lockdown.
Yeah, it's great.
And I just think the fact we've got a Jimmy Fallon Kith campaign with TaylorMade is the coolest thing.
So what would be the equivalent in this country then? Like Jonathan Ross and Wilson? Yeah. You know what I mean?
I would watch it and buy it.
I'm in.
Jonathan Ross and it would be. It'd be James Corden, wouldn't it? Unfortunately,
but it's interesting how golf and celebrities have always been a slightly nauseating mix. So certainly many decades ago, it was a real sort of Wogan and Tarbuck and Corbett and really old school kind of entertainers, all blokes, and that has changed so much. even before the YouTube golf revolution that we're kind of riding the wave of at the moment, when you see people like Fallon in America, but like Anton Deck love their golf, or I know Vernon Kay, they're still pretty old sort of white men. There's just a huge range now of people who are into it and are quite like, I don't know, this might be too on the nose, but I think people have often been quite sort of shy or a bit shameful about saying they love golf because they expect to be told, oh, you boring old man, that's for old people. I still get it now.
That opinion's still there, by the way.
There, but that is changing massively because people who are cool and young or whatever just go, yeah, I play golf. And they don't get the, oh, you're a 60-year-old man, are you? And this sport has been associated with retirement in a way that sort of bowls has, you know?
Yeah.
Equally
Saga cruises.
Golf,
cruises. Hands in hand.
Right. And I think that that's separating at the moment.
And my youth culture reference here, I think youth culture goes in sort of like circles of reference.
Yeah.
When you're young, you know youth culture because you're young. Mm-hmm. You're then middle-aged like me. Mm-hmm. You don't know about youth culture. But then you enter your era, the dad era.
Hang on, if you're middle-aged, what the hell am I?
Well, no, but you've got kids. So you're sort of then reattached to youth culture at the bottom.
Yeah, but do you know what? My kids, my eldest who's obsessed with golf, the way he is consuming golf is YouTube.
Yeah.
It's Bryson.
It's DeChambeau.
It's Bryson, and he was not a fan of Bryson before. He doesn't like his swing. He doesn't particularly like
called him a MAGA dickhead.
I called him a MAGA dickhead. That's why I say to my son every time he goes to bed, good night, darling. Don't forget, what's Bryson? That's right, he's a MAGA dickhead. Good night.
Sleep well.
No, he really likes Bryson. And that has been really interesting. We talked about a couple of weeks ago, Bryson and how well he did at the USPGA, because I think the YouTube stuff has put wind in his sails. But my son loves watching him on the course. And the guy, who's the guy? Oh, Grant, what's it? He used to be on.
Oh, Grant Hovat.
Yeah.
Part of Good.
He loves him.
I don't love the American golf YouTube world. It just doesn't do it for me.
Why not? What's the thing? And who cares? They're not going to be listening to this. What do you know what I mean? What's the kind of, what is it? Because we need to work out, because obviously eventually we're going to give up our jobs in radio and become full-time golf YouTube.
Of course.
So what do we need to make sure we do?
I think for me personally, as a 30-year-old man in the UK, I think it skews too young.
Yeah.
It feels a bit like I'm watching college kids play golf, which as a 30-year-old bloke, I'm not really that interested in.
But that's why Rick is great. That's why Rick is great.
That's why I love Rick, because I can relate to Rick. I can relate to Pete. Weirdly, in the American world, I love Bob Does Sports.
Yes.
But they're slightly older guys, and they're really funny. They're so funny.
I think we need to disengage age and stop worrying about if someone's old or young and if they're cool or not. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a good example of it. Like, it doesn't matter if someone's 50 or 60. If they're funny and they've got it, then you're going to enjoy watching
But don't
them.
you think it's more, for me, it's more like a reference point?
Yeah.
Like, it's not an age thing. It's like a life experience thing.
Yeah.
Like, Rick's a bit older than me, but like is married. He's got kids. I'm like, that's where I can sort of see my future there.
You can relate to him.
When I look at the good guys, they're like young, like super early 20s. I just don't relate to it so much. But my goodness, do they do big numbers? But can I just go back to where I started this sentence from?
Yes, go on.
So, is your son into the Sidemen? Are you aware of the Sidemen?
I don't know.
Okay, fine. I feel so old talking about this because it's not really my world either. You know KSI?
Yes.
You know KSI. We all know KSI. Everyone loves KSI. I've interviewed him a few times. Genuinely a very nice guy.
Yeah.
He's connected with these things called the Sidemen.
Okay.
We're leaving my sort of ballpark of knowledge.
Okay.
And there's a guy in the Sidemen called Cal Freezy. He works on the show. Cal Freezy? Are you aware of Cal Freezy?
I don't think he's a Sideman, but he's in that group.
He's in the world of Sidemen and online things. Cal Freezy has launched something called The Big Wedge YouTube channel.
Right.
A golf YouTube channel.
Oh, God. Has it already got 800 million followers?
All the videos get 1 million views.
Oh, my life. Oh, my God.
But what an interesting and amazing sign
Amazing.
for this sport that a massive icon of youth culture and YouTube Sidemen KSI world has launched a golf YouTube channel.
Here's the thing that makes, for me, good YouTube content on golf. It's jeopardy. I don't care if you're young or old or good or bad. I want the story of what you're trying to achieve in that round. And I want each shot to feel like all I've got to do is get it over there and make that happen. So just like a bit of a focus, and there's like a kind of clear object, what I'm trying to do. The laughter, the craziness, the challenges, the weirdness, that can all come. But the base unit for me has got to be, I've got to get a 5 on this hole. Oh my God, here we go. Like, I want the tension, because for me, golf is massively about tension management.
Right.
How do you still do this physically very incredibly complicated dance move of a swing whilst also managing all the stuff going on in your head. And when I see Rick, playing beautifully, maybe beating Fleetwood because he's started tension, and then he duffs his chips, or he's going up against Bryson, and I see it all in him. I really do. Every time he takes it seriously, but he has fun with it.
Yeah. And on that, I think a conclusion we came to quite quickly when we started doing YouTube golf, because we did a few episodes online if you want to see us play golf, and we loved it. It was amazing.
Such good fun.
It was such good fun. It was such hard work.
I cannot tell you. I mean, let's just pause on that for a second.
Yeah.
It was such hard work.
It was such hard work.
It was a lot to do. 9 holes took us hours. We had to let people through. It's really, really difficult. You've got to film it properly. It's exhausting for the camera crew. You've got to be on the whole time to make sure that you never know what little moment's going to make something really funny happen. It was really, really hard work.
And I think what was sad is me and you don't play golf anywhere near enough anyway. So on those rounds where we do get to play golf, it was quite hard to go, okay, we're now going to have to film all this and do all that. But what that highlighted to me is that there's only 2 types of golf YouTube videos I like. One, you've got to be watching people who are actually pretty decent at playing golf.
Agrees.
Because watching someone fluff 18 holes of golf turns out not that entertaining.
No, true story.
Or they have to be side-splittingly funny, like Bob Does Sports.
McIntyre. Have you seen Michael McIntyre?
Oh, the wedge shot out the water. Have you seen that? Yeah.
There's a lot of videos of him doing golf events, and he's very, very funny. Yeah. You're right. You've absolutely got it.
And the problem we had with it is we were neither one nor the other.
Yeah.
We were concentrating too much on the golf to be side-splittingly funny, and we weren't good enough at the golf to be that good at golf. So we just found ourselves in the middle ground, and that's why you look at other golf YouTube channels. God, this is golf nerdy and YouTube nerdy now. But when you look at like Tubes and Ange at Golf Life, who's a channel I love, you don't see those lads playing golf that much anymore. No. They always put Jimmy, long-haired, Soccer AM, very famous golfer. Jimmy Bullard does a lot of the videos now because he's a scratch golfer. Jimmy Bullard's trying to get in the Open this year. He plays sexy golf. That's nice. The sort of golf you want to watch.
That's what I'll watch. I think it is golf nerdy, but I think how you consume golf content has now become a really big part of the game, hasn't it? I remember playing with you like 4 years ago, and you said, Rick Shields, and I was like, who?
Yeah, I remember that. I was shocked you didn't know who Rick was.
I had no idea. And, golfers now of all ages will talk about who they watch on YouTube. Which ones do you watch? Which instructors do you watch? Pete Cowan, is it Pete Cowan?
Yes.
My mate watches him all the time. It's a really big part of who you are as a golfer now is who you watch, which golfers you watch on social media.
Yeah. And you buy into these people's lives.
Yeah.
Like watching Peter Finch at the moment try and qualify for the Open and seeing him get better and better. You are really part of this person's journey to try and achieve something in golf. And when I got into golf again this time round as an adult, so 2018?
Sure, why not?
2018, 2019?
Let's say that.
That's when I got back into golf again. There really was you and me golf, or me and you golf, or whatever those two blokes are, who are really good. Mm-hmm. There was them, there was Pete, there was Rick, and then there was the guys down south on the Cornwall coast who were quite good. Coach Lockie and his mate.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And now you look at it and
so much.
Oh my God, you're awash with content.
Well, you're in trouble if you're doing that stuff and Bryson rocks up. Who's going to go up against him?
Yeah, it's really hard.
Massive.
Really hard. But then that's why I also loved, friend of the show, I love John Robbins' YouTube channel, which you've been on.
Yeah. Bad Golf.
He
and Alex Horn. I don't know when the next stuff is planned. I don't know if they're making new stuff at the moment because they are both really, really busy. But that's good as well. That's a good example of them being not that good, but side-splittingly funny. Alex especially is hilarious on a golf course.
Yeah, really fun to watch. But
really funny.
They were really bad.
Yeah, well, actually, not the day I played with...
John, not so much actually by the end. But
John's
Alex
okay. Alex was good the day I played him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he really stepped up. It was really annoying.
He's quite comically bad on that. Like, he doesn't care.
Listen, he's so busy doing Taskmaster stuff 24/7. Just hitting one shot into a green makes his life complete.
Yeah.
He loves it. But he was really good the day I played him. It was really annoying.
And not to promote that show too much, the hilarious thing on that show so often is that they are also sponsored by Cobra Puma.
Yes.
But Alex would turn up every time with nothing from Cobra, nothing from Puma. Like, I left it all at home. Oh, God.
For God's sake. What are you doing? Take your
All
Wilson
the golf
hat off.
content is out there, guys. Look at us just promoting all our friends.
I know. It's very nice of us. All right, look, we're getting towards half time. Let's have a look at all the different products you can buy. Not necessarily even golf products. Loads of
Different
stuff
products. VPNs?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe, probably.
Yeah, here they are.
Welcome back to Golf is Ruining My Life. Tom Green and Tom Price here with you as ever. Emails?
I love the emails so much, and I feel so bad because we did an email special a few weeks ago, last week I think, and there was so many in, I'm going to say Santa's sack.
I see.
That we didn't get the sack emptied.
Okay.
That's a shame.
That's less
isn't
of
it?
an inbox, more of a sin box.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I like that.
Do you want to pick up the emails?
Okay, so where did we get to? Did we do Chris Lickley?
No, we're up to Chris. Oh, let me read Chris Lickley's.
Come on, then you
actually.
read Chris Lickley. Hello to Chris. Thank you very much for emailing us.
I want to read Chris Lickley's because I've only scanned the top of this email,
Okay.
and I have certain words that my Google won't show me. It normally deletes emails like Twitter, like you can block words.
Yes.
Certain words don't come through to me.
Yes.
One of those words is Torchwood. Because
Me too, mate. 100%.
Because
I'm trying to move on. I'm trying to forget about it.
to explain what this is, you
I still perform as this character in an
Torchwood.
audio medium now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, but this email mentions Torchwood, but I don't know why.
Okay.
So I'll read it.
Got them.
Thanks, Lickers. Hey, TG and TP. Hope all is well with you guys. First time emailer, long time listener.
Lovely stuff.
First of all, prior to discovering the pod, I had heard Mr. Price on the radio a few years ago while in one of my parents' cars.
Makes sense. Magic FM. See you
Yeah,
there.
Magic FM, that'll be your mum and dad.
It's actually if you're over the age of 50, it's pre-programmed.
This is so good for you. And it took me a while to realise that he was Sergeant Andy Davidson from Torchwood.
Thank you. Well done.
What a connection.
Well done for getting Sergeant, because initially I was PC Andy, but then I became Sergeant.
You got a promotion?
I did get a promotion. My fictional character got a fictional promotion.
Massive.
And is now a fictional Sergeant, yeah.
In the sort of tick boxes of the Tom Price world, Magic FM and Sergeant Andy Davidson from Torchwood both getting ticked in this sort of introductory paragraph.
And golf.
And golf.
Those are the things most important to me in my life, apart from my wife and family.
Anyway, Mr. Green will want to steer this back to golf.
How well he knows you.
Don't like talking about Price's other endeavours. So, back to the subject of the email, which was playing through. Back to the subject of this email and topic that has been discussed on the pod. I had a good playing through experience during my most recent round.
Okay.
It's always good to report the good and the bad.
Completely, actually. That's a good point.
I don't play a lot of 18-hole rounds, so I mainly play up at my local 9-hole course, which I would say is ideal for people getting into the game. Totally. Little 9-hole course, off you go.
Yeah.
I'd caught up to a 4-ball who had just hit their tee shots on the par 3 third hole. They kindly asked me to tee off, and thankfully I hit a decent tee shot with my 7-iron, which landed just over the green side bunker, leaving me with a chip over a small portion of the bunker.
Lovely.
The 4-ball followed me down the hole and awaited and watched me play my second shot, which ended up finishing just shy of the hole for a tap-in par.
Oh, lovely.
And to my surprise, the 4-ball gave me some claps of appreciation for the shot.
When have you had a round of applause on the golf course? The Toms at golfersruiningmylife.co.uk. One of the best feelings when the other day, have I told you this already? When I hit the 8-iron
No.
on the 6th.
No.
I hit an 8-iron from about 140 yards to 2 inches. And a greenkeeper at our golf course
They normally hate you.
applauded me.
That's unbelievable.
Best moment of my life.
So a greenkeeper's great. The only one I ever had was 2 old ladies let me play through when I first started. They went, "You've hit that a long way." I was like, "Cheers, Nan."
Thanks. It was a good putt, wasn't it? Cheers.
They gave me a round of applause. Just goes to show that there are golfers out there who have respect for other golfers. See, it's really good to talk about the positives as well.
Yeah, it is.
This is probably up there in terms of a long-winded email. No. This email was perfect length, actually.
It is, actually.
But after playing golf for just over 4 years, moments like this make you realise why we play this game. From Chris Lickley.
It's so good. It's so important.
You're so lucky, Chris, that email got through and they got through the sort of Torchwood burn filter. Because not often they do. But thanks, Chris. It's a lovely email.
The playing through thing the other day as well. I was playing with my kid, and some people let us through. And the most important thing you have to do when you've been let through, just as you walk off the green, you have to turn back and wave to the guys who've let you through.
Yeah. It's classy.
You got to do it. But this is why you need someone to teach you these little tiny bits of etiquette. And it's probably, by the time you add up all the bits of etiquette, it's probably 30 rules.
Oh yeah, it's not a crazy amount, but it takes years to pick up all this stuff.
It does. It makes a big difference.
I got let through recently, and as with a golfer that's only just started playing golf, and I had second-hand nerves for him.
Yeah.
Because I hit my drive and I was sort of fine, and we'd been on this 4-ball a little bit, and they let us play through, and I was just like, in my head, please don't stuff it.
I've seen what you're capable of. Don't do one of those.
You've got it in the locker. And he hit a big slice and it was fine. Do you want to do another email?
Yeah, so Jack Maguire's been on. Hello, Jack. Thank you very much for your email. Scotland versus Portugal question.
Oh, which was on the show a few weeks ago. Which actually is a very interesting question. Scotland or Portugal? What are you going to have? There's a lot of advantages to Scotland.
I mean, basically what you're saying in a nutshell is heritage or weather.
Yeah, and I think
more or less.
I would always say heritage.
I think so, but
Every
then
time.
Jack disagrees. Hi, gents. Just wanted to say that as much as I understand both of your choices to choose Scotland for a golf trip for its beautiful courses and unmatched history, I couldn't help but wonder while standing on the third tee box at my club, podcast on in the earphones. So we're
good
there
lad.
with him, facing a chilling morning headwind and sideways rain in June as I hit my second ball off the tee right into the trees. If you were with me to experience the true Scottish summer, how quickly you'd book those flights to the Algarve. Love the pod, TikTok convert. Thank you very much, Jack.
Yeah, it's very true. I have a non-golfing equivalent of that right now. It's when you get the thing that you've romanticized, because the romance behind it is often not as good as the thing, and you often get all the practicalities hit you.
Yeah.
And for so long, what did I want, Tom? That's right. Go on.
A Scotty Cameron putter.
No, it's not golf related.
Oh, right.
But
in life?
it's a parallel thing. It's a parallel thing to getting the romantic thing in golf you've always wanted and it being sort of let down by the practicalities.
You what on this? So many things. A fold-up bike.
No.
Is it a material object?
Yes. That's right, Tom. I've always wanted to live in the country in a lovely little cottage, which I now do. I bang my head all the time. It's too small.
You bang your head.
Can you imagine being a normal-sized human?
How short were people in the past?
Yeah. So small.
That is... Were you sold a shed? Is that what happened?
Yeah. Can I say the word hobbit? You can't you?
Thomas moved to Hobbiton. But this is the thing, isn't it? The dream versus the reality.
Yeah.
And another thing about Instagram is it sells us the golf dream a lot.
Yeah. And this is the thing. You dream of Scotland and you dream of Ireland and, that yes, you'll have beating wind and rain, but that's only in the clubhouse after the golf. The golf you play is gorgeous and sunny, and it's when you're next to the log fire that the rain starts.
That's the dream.
Really, it's probably the other way around. And there's more emails to go through. Hello to Thomas Callsley.
Hello, Thomas.
Hi, Tom, and now other Tom in
Loads
this
of
email.
Toms. So many Toms.
I hope you're both well. I recently asked about how often you should get golf lessons. Thank you for both answering. I sort of developed my kith list there a little bit. I've now had my first lesson. Sadly, resulted in a major swing change. And would you, what's your handicap now, 7?
Yeah, 6 or 7.
Would you consider a full golf swing rebuild?
I did that. I've already done that. I did it a year and a bit ago. I completely changed how I was taking the club back. I wasn't hinging properly. I was pulling it back, going up there, coming really hard inside. I've put in this. I've done it. I've done it. And
how long did it take to get back to any level of golf? Because I don't remember this being a huge deal for you.
I played to a few rounds at the end of 2022. I played to 2 over. I played to about 4 over, and I played to 3 over in the space of about a month, and then the season stopped. So I was as good as I've ever been. And then 23 came along. I did loads of different stuff with it, and the best I shot was like 5 or 6 over. So I definitely had a really frustrating year. But weirdly, that was scoring. The shots I've been hitting are way better.
Yeah, we're beautiful.
And I'm not getting back pain. The reason I did it was for back pain.
Fine.
To avoid that. So yeah, I would do it. I would totally rebuild the swing, especially if there's a good pro who you trust.
It would take a lot for me to do it.
You've got a really good swing. You wouldn't need to do that. And this, the absolute motivating factor was not quality of golf, was pain.
Fine, yeah, which makes sense. Thomas saying, obviously, major swing change. I feel like I'm starting golf all over again.
It's like you're basically going from right-handed to left-handed or vice versa.
I can barely hit a ball even when the swing feels connected.
Oh, God.
As someone that can get frustrated easily, it's really tough on my mental game. Do either of you have any tips for the mental side when going through a major swing change? All the best, Tom. Tom Price.
It's really, really hard. The thing is that Because I remember I did all the major changes before I went off and played Dornoch, and it meant that I played really badly there, and I found my rag was very short. And before, when you have your little swing with its quirks, you know the 2 or 3 things that always work. If it's going wrong, I just need to make sure I do that and that. When you completely reboot your swing, it feels like those little things you always know you could do, your crutches disappear. So you just feel like, I just have no idea.
You don't know where you're coming or going at this point.
I don't know whether, because I always know if I had a few bad shots, I'm hitting that slice, just make sure I tuck my right, whatever the weird thing is.
Yeah.
You'd lean on that and that just goes out the window. And the only thing I can say is just, Tom, you've just got to be so patient. You've just got to be so patient, and you've got to go and hit as many balls as possible on the range. And
I think you've got to get another lesson booked in for 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, that's
and
very
commit
good.
to the change.
Yeah, that's very good.
And
don't back out of the change.
That's the key.
Write
don't
down.
back out of the change.
I recorded my last golf lesson on audio so I could listen to the notes because I forget them otherwise.
Yeah. Do you remember when you got? I actually have this episode of this podcast referenced to me quite a lot. From people who've picked up the show. There is I was talking with friends of friends who listen to the show, and they were talking about, I was like, how geeky the episode is.
Yeah.
And they were talking about golf geekery. Yeah. And I was like, even this is a bit golf geekery for me. And they were like, you did a podcast episode that was only Tom Price getting fitted for a golf club. Do you remember that? That's series 1 or 2, I think, of this
Pete,
show.
the brilliant Pete does in Basingstoke.
But it's the geekiest listen.
Well, listen, I'm up, and he was in touch not long ago saying, do we want to get some wedges? Because I want to get some Vokey wedges.
I'd love some Vokey wedges. Obviously, I'd love Cobra ones more.
Of course. But if I could get us to go down there.
I'd do another fitting. I've never had a wedge fitting properly, really.
So we go down there, we'd do the same thing again, but it'll be it'll be the geek special.
It'll be the geek special.
He's a genius.
If you don't love golf geekery, probably skip that episode. But I'd be so up for doing that.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give him a call in that case. We'll go down to Basingstoke. He's absolutely brilliant, and we'll get some proper wedges fitted.
How far in are we?
We have got. Sorry, my throat's really bad because I've been talking all day. 3 minutes to go.
Okay, fine.
Pick up.
Golf geekery. As always, we do absolutely adore your emails. So please get them in. The Toms at golfisruiningmylife.co.uk. Before we go,
yes,
I've obviously, when this goes out, it will have happened.
Yep.
But it's quite a big weekend for me in my life.
Come on.
This isn't work, but this is my last bit of work I've got before I go off to get married, become a husband.
That's when the hard work really starts.
Hey, all that sort of gear will be coming out of me next week.
Yeah. It's incredible. What are you doing for your honeymoon?
We're going a mini moon to Santorini next week, and then we're doing safari at the end of the year. But the reason I mention this is because we've got a golf day as part of my...
Yes, you have.
Which is on Friday.
Oh, my God.
At Manor House Golf Club.
Yes.
And
in Manor House in North London.
In Manor House in North London, yes, that's where it is. It's named after the place. And it's really funny how when you've got a golf day like we have, you've got to go over the top to facilitate for all these different people, all these styles of people, all these different types of play.
Of course.
Because if we were to put a golf day on, it'd be really easy. We'd do Lower Stableford with handicaps.
Done. Cheers.
Easy.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone cares about the scoring.
Longest drive, nearest to pin, all the best.
So cheers. Thanks for coming. But because we've got so many different types of golfers playing,
oh wow,
we've got to do we want to make sure everyone has a prize and everyone feels included or whatever. And it was so funny. I scripted the email out to go out to all the golfers, and I sent it off to Em and her dad, who's a big golfer, and he was like, even by my standards, this is a bit intense.
Why? What does it say?
I was just going I need to see your world handicap certificate. If you've not got a world handicap, this was my plan.
Amazing.
Because there's actually good prizes on this golf day, thanks to Puma.
Oh really?
There's good prizes.
What are you giving away on your golf?
We've got a golf bag.
Oh.
We've got a driver.
Oh.
We've got some wedges.
My God.
We've all got Puma t-shirts. Which we did pay for. We paid for them. But the prizes were kindly donated by Puma. Yeah. So my big concern is, because I've obviously been giving it to the big un to all my mates, that this is actually a really great golf day with some good prizes.
Yeah.
Everyone is really incentivized if they've not got an official handicap to stick themselves out at 36 when really they're 22.
Yeah, that's a danger, isn't it? You know what you should do? You should do what I like to call the John Smedley. John Smedley John Smedley was in charge of the junior team at my home course when I was growing up, and he would stagger out of the bar, right? Go on then, tee off, and he'd watch you tee off and go 36. Go on, tee off. Get out 45. Tee off 22. And that was your handicap.
Is that right?
Yeah, who needs the WHI? You should adopt the Smedders. You should go and find a range.
Yeah.
You can watch them hit 5 balls and you say this is what your handicap is.
As long as I can do it with Marlborough Reds.
Do it with the Marlborough Reds, mate. It's all about the Marlborough Reds.
22.
That's what the WHI needs. That is how you improve the handicap system right now. You do it on a Zoom, right, to the president of the RNA, whatever he's called.
I want Smedders to do it.
John Smedley, right?
Is he still with us?
No, absolutely not. And I assume not anyway, because if he is, he'll be about 150. And you do a little Zoom with him, and he watches 1 swing, 2 swings max.
Yeah.
And then he gives you a number. 28. Have a good day. Do
Off you
that.
go.
That way you have chosen their handicap.
Yeah.
And because also you're good enough at golf to be able to go, come on, I can see what your handicap is.
Come on, you can hit a golf ball. Unfortunately, that would have teared me apart if I did that from my round at the Grove. Because I smoked one down the middle.
4.
Yeah. Oh, are you serious?
No, you mean 4, not 4.
All over the place.
Listen, congratulations on getting married. It's just delightful. I hope the day goes really well. And I just hope that once the wedding is done, we can really lean into the priorities in life, which is just more and more golf.
Well, since the marathon and since losing all the weight for the marathon, and the wedding, I've slid back into a bit of old TG habits recently.
Good.
It's been 3 pints in the pub most nights.
Excellent news.
And I think Fat TG could come back, and he loved golf.
Oh, I love that
He played
guy.
golf 4 times a week.
Oh, I miss Fat TG.
Yeah.
Get him back to me at once.
Because he could also be off scratch.
Yeah. Definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't tell you how much just getting back to 3 rounds a week, 3 pints a night, 3 rounds a week.
It's the threes.
Mate, it is. If it works for Shano, it could work for you.
Yeah. The problem is now after playing the Grove, my hunt for the right golf courses, because I had it as soon as I played the Grove, I had do you know what? Little 9. This is the problem when you're not a member. Little 9 holes. Oh, little 9 holes. You can't do it.
Yeah.
And that's where your golf gets good is the Tuesday. Oh, little 9 holes. Oh, I'll do 14 actually.
Yeah.
And then you get good.
Those are the ones. Drop a couple of balls down.
Oh, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to,
but
you're not supposed to, but we do.
That's what you all do. All right, listen, that is the end of another episode of Golfers Ruining My Life. Drop us an email to toms@golfersruiningmylife.co.uk and we'll get an email special up and running again soon.
Can I ask you, because I know loads of people did this actually. We asked for something and loads of people did it and we never said thank you. Our reviews on Spotify have gone through the roof.
Oh, have they?
So if you are on
lovely.
Spotify, just go and give us a 5-star, because I actually do check them and it's really nice when they go up. So
Great, it
please
helps.
slap that 5-star. And there's
really
also, if you go, there's something to do with clicking the cog. If you click the cog on Spotify and put auto download, that's a thing. I don't really understand it, but go to Spotify, find the cog.
Cog it up, lads. Cog it up.
Get your cog up.
Do you know what? What people can do, if you've enjoyed this podcast, and let's be honest, you've enjoyed this free, great golf content, you want to give Tom Green a little wedding present, right? Head over to Spotify, click on the cog, head onto the podcast app, give us a nice review, because those nice reviews, they do help when they push the podcast to new people.
Yeah, and send me a $5 in the comments.
Okay, that too.
Cheers, bye.